Protests resume at UC San Diego with calls for Chancellor's resignation. Students, faculty, staff, and community members at the University of California, San Diego have intensified their protests, following a week marked by police breaking up student encampments and arresting 40 individuals for failing to disperse. These events culminated in a student walkout and a rally that moved from the campus to the Chancellor's office. The protests are primarily driven by accusations of excessive police force in response to student advocacy against perceived injustices, specifically related to the situation in Gaza, which protesters compare to their treatment on campus. The protesters' central demand is the resignation of Chancellor Pradeep Khosla, criticizing his management of the situation and the contradiction between the university's stated support for free speech and the actual handling of the protests. Chancellor Khosla, in a recent statement, defended the university's actions by highlighting the support for Vinci at major campus free expression events since October 2000. Vinci trace that complied with university policies. He differentiated these from the recent encampments, which he described as violations of campus policies and legal standards, posing a safety risk. Meanwhile, Gus H., a pro-Palestinian activist and non-student, has been actively involved in providing medical assistance at the protests, emphasizing the peaceful nature of the encampments and expressing solidarity with healthcare workers in Gaza. He articulated a collective refusal to remain silent on issues perceived as injustices, urging the UC Regents, the U.S. administration, and President Biden to recognize and address their concerns. The university administration remains firm in its stance, supported by the UC Office of the President, which also outlined potential disciplinary actions for those involved in the protests. The uncertainty around the timing of future rallies underscores the ongoing unrest and commitment among students to continue their advocacy.